Hi, this is David from Dyson Bikes. In this video, I just want to show you some of the features and benefits of the ETook plate lock. These are the lock we recommend to use on our bikes. A few reasons for that. They provide a really good high level of security, and they're also very easy to mount on the bike when you're riding. It's always a bit of an issue with a lock, something like these U-locks here, which are very secure. They're a good lock for locking the bike, but they can be a challenge to store when you're riding the bike. So this is the real key advantage of the ETook plate lock, is the mounting system they have, which can be mounted on the back of the seat post. And actually on our Dyson brand electric bikes, all of them except for the 20-inch folding have mounting points on the back of the seat post, so they're really easy to securely mount on the bike to store the lock when you're riding. Now, some of the advantage of a plate lock over a traditional chain or U-lock is the flexibility. So plate lock, the name comes from these plates that they have rather than plate links, rather than chain links or a fixed shape that you'd get with a D-lock. So these plates are a hardened steel plate. They have about a 9-ton shear rating on them, so you're not going to cut it with a set of bolt cutters or even a hacksaw. Being a hardened steel, you can't cut through them. So very secure, and that flexibility of being able to get it around a solid part of the bike, some of the frame and a post or something secure. It has a plastic coating, so it's not going to mark up the bike. You get a couple of keys with the lock. That also has a nice little cover plate here, so you can cover up where you pop the keys in to stop muck and things getting into the bike. So now what we're going to do is just show you how we'd mount it onto a Dyson bike, or alternatively, if you've got another brand of bike, we can show you how to mount, how easy it is to mount up as well. Okay, so in the package here with your lock, you're going to get the lock itself, a mount, a couple of adjustable straps, a couple of little screws if you're going to use it to mount it to a drink bottle holder, a little Allen key, and a couple of keys. Okay, to mount on the bike, if you've got one of our Dyson electric bikes, if you see in here, this is the normal drink mount on this side, and then what we've done on the current range of bikes is you'll have another set of mounts here. What I like to do first is just pop the screws in first, because some of the threads might have a little bit of paint. So it's a good idea just to run them in and out to begin with, just to make sure those threads are nice and easy to run in and out. Also, if you've got some Loctite or thread sealer, it's a good idea to pop some of that on the thread of the screw. If you don't have any of that, you can use a bit of nail polish if you happen to have some of that around. That works pretty much just as well. Now, it does come with this little Allen key, if you can see that. So that's going to be okay on this bike. If you've got a bike with a fender here, it can get a little bit tighter. If you have a smaller Allen key bit, I like to use these because you can get in a bit tighter and start the thread of the screw. So to mount it up, just a matter of holding it in place. It'll sit in place there, and we do that up. And we're just checking. It can be a little bit tricky. There we go. So the thing to be mindful too of is when you're mounting this on a bike, sometimes if you're on the other side here, is your seat post is going to run down in there. So down the bottom here, it's probably going to be okay. We could use a bit longer screw, but you want to make sure you've got a screw that's short enough that it's not going to come in and start forcing into the back of the seat post. Or on some of our other bikes like the Tilbra or Bondi, there's actually cables in behind there. So just be mindful of what's on the other side of that screw. And pop the other one in. So once you get it started and going, that one's gone in pretty easy. You don't want to over tighten it. And it's a good idea as you're going just to move the seat post up and down to make sure that's okay. So that's good. Now we can just tighten it off with our Allen key. If you've got a bit of Loctite in there, it doesn't need to be super tight, just needs to be firm. That's it, that's all good to go. So once that's mounted on, grab our lock, and as you can see, that's going to just slide in there, lock it in, and that's secure on the bike, and it's nice and neat and out of the way. Alright, so we're just going to show you how you can use this on practically any bike, really. You can use these ETook locks. So this bracket, we could mount it anywhere where there's a round bar, really. So it could be here, could be in here, here, even on a seat post on this particular bike. So in the kit, you're going to get these little straps. You just pull out, I've already pulled out these little screws. So what we do is open it up, pop the straps in. So that's like that. Put it on here, say. You've got plenty of strap, so it can be quite a big tube you can put that on. So they pull in like that. So just pull them up tight, and then these little screws or little worm drives we pulled out, they just start feeding them in, and you grab your flathead screwdriver, just tighten them up. They're nice, they're quite strong, they're not going to mark up the frame because they're a nice non-marking plastic. So we just tighten them up, that's going to hold in place. It's quite strong, and away you go. So that's how you can mount it up on practically any bicycle. So I hope that was helpful and showed you some of the benefits of the ETook plate locks. If you've got any questions though on mounting or suitability for your bike, feel free to get in touch. The best way is you can look us up at dysonbikes.com.au, or we're always happy to take your call.